Hi, welcome back channel, FIFA Mobile. Alright, I'll give you a review of these matchups, players, market prices, and of course, end of the day, I decided to claim that 92 CDM. So subsequently, I played some of the games together with the seasons. I'm going to show you that later on, and of course, I managed to sell them off about 3.2 million coins. Alright, so these are the summary prices I found from a market. We can show you very shortly. You can see here 94, which requires 2,500 points versus the 92 of 2,000 points. The price isn't that much difference. Of course, the other prices are much lower. As an example, you can see the 90 ST is only $1.63 million, which is quite stuck. But as compared to the 89 CB, which is only 1 million, and then 87 is 616K, and last but not least, the 86 CB is only worth 260K. Alright, now these are the list of players you can get from the league's matchup, and of course the points respectively required to claim them. Alright, so very quickly let's take a look at the market prices of this player. And of course, if you do need a boost in terms of those points, you can use your gems, but again, gems are really precious. So very quickly I'll try to search out all the prices, starting from I think the last player, which is the 86 CB itself. So of course, being an 86 CB, you did not expect much. Just saw Touvoir, which is the 88 R himself, that was my first player that I claimed, and I sold for a couple of $1 million in a very early stage of this game. So I'm really happy with that good start actually. So you can see here, it's not really that expensive. If you really like this player, it's only 86 CB though. It's only 260K itself. Next, I'll move on to the player. There's a slightly higher OVR of I think 87. Of course, I believe the price will be much higher. So let's set a budget of 600K. And then yes, here we are. We saw this 87 CAM has been sold. I believe you can fetch a higher price since the availability there are quite limited. So if you do not have really a lot of those points, this will be one of the options. You can get a couple $100,000 actually coins. So next, let's move on to the another player which is slightly higher at 89 itself. So of course, again, we expect a price increase compared to the slightly lower OVR players that we have mentioned earlier. So let's go and make the price to a more reasonable amount of 1.3 million coins, and there we are. We find this 89 CB. So this 89 CB, let's try to fixate the price range. Just now we saw some warrant is actually selling for 1.004 plus. So I believe let's set it as 5. I think we're able to see that. And yes, there are two exact same price here. So this is around the price of roughly about 1 million coins itself, right? Let's try to find that striker, the 90 striker here, and let's see how much it's worth. Okay, let's see. Let's say we set up $1.6 million. Actually, coins again. Forgot about that. So 2 million. Let's take a look. Alright, I suspect there could be some spelling error. Let's remove the price itself and set even a higher. If this doesn't come out, definitely there's some spelling error somewhere. Alright, so first always my checking is to reset without any price. Yes, it's affirmed there. Let's try with just SI instead of spelling in full. Alright, so yes, there are players here. Let's now roughly know that it's about 2 odd million coins itself. Yes, roughly there. So about 2 million or so. Yes, that's the price. But of course, let's set it slightly lower at 1,999. Oh, there are even lower players that are selling at that 1.7. Let's take a look. Yes, roughly there. Okay, so you know that this player is worth roughly $1 million coins itself. So now this one is one that I'm quite interested at, because as I've shown you earlier in the earlier part of this video, the price difference between this player and the last player, which is the highest OVR player, isn't that fantastically huge. But you gotta bear in mind, you're gonna save about 500 points if you choose this player to sell. Definitely would I recommend this player for use in your team. If you need a boost in terms of the team OVR and whatnot, probably, because it's a 92 but based on my experience later I'm going to show you, I don't really recommend it. I mean, end of the day, it depends what you require. You do understand this is not a CAM or a striker, it's just a CDM. So defending is important. Yes, he does that, but I'll share you more later on. So for this, the best player you can get here right now is 94 RW. Of course, it's a speed beast, and the only thing is, of course, the height is not that fantastic, but the rest are not too bad. But again, if you really want this player, you can save up and then claim him, right? So for me, I'm going after so-called coins, so I'm going to sell my player later on. But before that, let's see the stats itself. Attributes wise, you can see it's really slow. The acceleration and sprint speed is terrible. So I will show you later on how terrible it was. That makes me wanting just to sell him, because no point having this CDM. Of course, as I said, if you want a CDM, you shouldn't be expecting to be a striker. So I managed to sell him off eventually for 3.2 million coins itself. Of course, on a price slightly lower, so able to get him off. And of course, I'm going to show you this player as well. There's another player which is 92 that we can get from Cannibal, but the price is so different. So if really you need a CDM, I will urge you not to buy just now that player, but you can get actually this Cannibal player, which is so much cheaper, because that was in millions and this is just a couple 100,000. So you can understand the difference in terms of just 2 OVR, you'll save $2 over million. So why not you get this? And of course, I will show you later on in terms of the gameplay. I would say this player seems to be much easier to control, and even you want to use him to do a scoring, it is possible. It's so much faster and easy to maneuver compared to just now that player which I've claimed. Alright, so very quickly, let's quickly find out the best price or the lowest price you can get if you really needed this player to fall into your group. And last but not least, you want this player, you should buy him and then put him into your team, and then you play that Carnival for extra 10 points. So every single player is 10 points. Alright, now let's enter in the gameplay. You can see there, not a very good start there. Alright, so I would say yes, I managed to get a score, but it is not every time and that easy. It's just once in a blue moon you manage to get a score from him. Of course, bearing in mind, CDM, not a striker, but it is the way that I find the pace is terrible, that makes the whole player not easy to use, because you can see easily is being tackled away, and that doesn't really serve that well. So if you are defending and you can't chase, at the same time, even when you try to pass or outrun people, you can't. I think that's a terrible player. So generally, I wouldn't recommend it. But of course, they are a very strong physical and defending skill, so-called OVR. But nonetheless, I think the more importantly, I think I'll rather get those 3 over million coins from him. So I'm going to show you the other players. This is just a couple 100,000 coins. He is so much easier to control and so much faster, and you can see even I managed to get a goal just like that. So for me, if I really wanted some CDM in the players, so-called my team, I'll definitely buy this for a couple $100,000 or coins. That really compared to that 3 over million dollars or coins is not worthwhile. So to me, more importantly is what you want, but of course what I wanted right now is really to have sufficient coins, because I'm wanting to upgrade the skill boost, but there's not enough coins in it. Alright, I'm just going to show you this cheaper version CDM that is able to just get a goal so much easier and so much faster to control. Alright, so that's all for today's video. I hope you like it, and of course, if you could sometimes spend some time to play that League Smash Up to get those points and claim player for coins if you really want to sell them. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.